later or you engage me later and say, I want to sell you an eraser. You're selling me a complementary product because you have the record that I have bought the original product. Very simple. And if you're doing upselling, which means today you sold me a pencil, then you sold me an eraser that is complementary. Then when I grew up a little, maybe you sold to a child, you say, oh, do you need a pen? Because you have a history of my interaction with you. You can sell something else to me that makes sense, that I'm likely to buy because you have a certain history about me as your customer. Number 5, you build value-driven partnerships. What does that mean? That means if I know my customer base well enough, I know what they want that I don't have, but I have a business partner that can supply it. So I join forces with them and say, look, I want to focus on pencils, pens, and erasers. Can you supply my customers books and give me commission? Because they are my customers, so you sell to them through me. So if you think about this, I just use very basic examples, but if you think about this in your context, in your business, I'm sure you can extrapolate and think about all the different ways all the different things you can do with customer data, as long as you have a way to collect it. So the point here is whether there's a sale or there is no sale, your customer data, your customer journey must have a way to make sure you capture the data so that you can sell back to the person the next time, market to the person. So what I'm telling you with this picture is, look, whatever your business is, you sell items, you do software, you do clothing. What you want to do is find a systematic way to collect the data, whether the person make a sale at the first point of contact or not. So let's look at a little bit about form planning, right? Any tool you have in this world, right? I remember one time, somebody saw me using a hacksaw. And Obi and I will know about this because he was also in engineering school. He saw me using a hacksaw and he was surprised. He said, how are you able to use it so easily that it's just cutting it smooth? And I said, oh, we did this in year 2 in engineering, how to use some of these tools. When you pull a hacksaw, you apply the force at the forward stroke, then you pull it back, forward stroke. So somebody watching you will think it's very easy, but you need to know that you don't just apply the force back and forth. That's the same thing with IT tools. When you pick up an IT tool, it's easy to use because they are designed to be intuitive. But if you don't learn a few more things, you will not be able to be very effective about using the tool. Just like somebody who's struggling with, a hacksaw because he doesn't know that he has to apply the force at the forward stroke. Yeah? Templates, very important. One of the things Canva does for you is that you are not an expert at design. You can pick up templates from thousands of repos and do almost anything you want. I picked up a lot of templates. I just made small adjustments, and here I am. So you will learn more of that in next month's session. Okay? So I have put in my banner, and I'm going to make a few other changes here. I don't want the ordinary text, ordinary font, so I'm going to change the font. There's a font for the header. Let me just try out a few. Yeah, I like this one. And I'll maybe increase it a bit. No, it is the larger size. The font for the questions as well. I want to change it. Maybe I change it to Oswald. Yeah, I like that. Then the font for the text, maybe I change it to Laura. Notice that I can also decide what kind of Oswald I want. I can make it a medium, normal.
In fact, I wanted to do things like this, like add the food, the pictures of the food, but I couldn't do it. But
so you can do it now.
Yes. And then the first picture you place, that's your logo over there.
Yeah.
I had in mind that I should do something like that. Whenever the link goes to them, that page should open the organization logo and then some drawing of food, sort of.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do it. So this training has really enlightened me.
Good. I'm happy to hear. That's good feedback. We have to recommend. In order to get this list of add-ons, you go to the right here, the drop down, and then say get add-ons. When I do get add-ons, right, it gives me another page, and I can look for the add-on I want. So many different things that can be done. So you see the open button, right? The open button opens the form configuration pane so that you can now decide how you want to use this add-on. What do I want to do? First, I want to appreciate the person for coming to my office. So I want to thank you email, right? No, I tell the person, it's called Calendly, right? It's called, there's a tool called Calendly. If you Google it, you find it. It actually does this booking. So the idea is that it's possible for you, you know, if Elizabeth will bear me witness, I was contemplating, should I make a subscription for Calendly? So that's another cost to my business. So why don't I, and then I began to explore this, and I was able to find an option that allows me to do calendar bookings for my interactive ideation session without paying for Calendly, right? Without paying for an additional fee. Does that make sense? Okay. Does that make sense? Everybody together? Are we tired? Awesome. Okay. So let's look at that. So this is a little girl that is going to school. She is very confident that she's going to pass the exam after this course. I hope you are confident that you're going to pass the exam. We're going to share with you after this course. We've made it very hard. So let's see Europe. All right. Final. Okay, whatever. So these are my questions. 3 questions. Let's make this question 10 marks. This is very difficult. What? 20 marks, 10 marks. Okay. And the answer is this. The answer is not this. I can give feedback and say map 1, right? I can't remember which map it is, but just for examples. So I have just created a quiz.